Good afternoon, Easton. I am Carrie Rapolo.
Oh, I'm Jason Daniels. Sorry.
And today I am joined with Brian Hoffman from the Children's Museum. Brian, thank you for coming today.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Carrie, and thank you, Jason, and hello, Easton.
All right, great. And we'll get to the Children's Museum stuff in just a minute. But here's the scoop for July 22nd, 2015. School committee member Donna Abelli has submitted her resignation. July 14th, it's effective immediately. She decided that for personal and family reasons, it was time for her to step aside and give somebody else a chance. So Abelli, she was a certified public accountant, well, she still is, and was elected to the school committee in 2010. Before that, she was actually a member of the town's finance committee for 7 years and chairman for 5 years. And so they're looking for somebody to step in and help out and replace her until the town meeting in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, if they like it, they can stay on and try to run for election for the April 2016 election.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Donna for moving on. I believe that, you have to put your family first.
Absolutely, and she's done such good work for the town, both on the finance committee and on the school committee. So I think we all take our hat off to
Absolutely.
all of the effort it takes to do that while you're raising a family and
It's a lot
working.
of work.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Volunteer position, looking out for the schools, looking out for the parents and the children, and the education. So wonderful. Thank you, Donna, for all your hard work. All right, so the notice coming out of the town hall is that they have the school committee vacancy position is now open, and they're looking also to fill a finance committee position. You can go to easton.ma.us for more information, and they have everything listed out there, what the commitment would be, what the job entails, so on and so forth. There's the website. All right. So tonight there's a meeting, the audit committee, that's over at the town offices, and then next week is the conservation committee on Monday and the Board of Selectmen meeting on Monday. And of course, we videotape those here, so you can always watch them on eastoncat.org. So this was the Planning and Zoning Board meeting from July 20th. And this is Steve Merlin and Dottie Fulginitti, who are part of the Affordable Housing Trust Committee. And they're talking about how Easton can get affordable housing to the residents of Easton. So there's a little clip for you guys at home.
Ideas for property, things that are zoned, maybe a 3-family or 4-family and mixed commercial use. We're trying to develop a RFP, a request for a proposal. We want to send out to developers saying, if you have a parcel of land in Easton that you want to develop, and if it's, say, a mixed use, or some other usage or a parcel, how can we help you? Are we able to give you affordable housing? Because even though people believe that with the so-called Avalon project behind Target, if that reaches fruition, that Easton will meet its 10%. That's 10% in 2015, but it's not going to be 10% in 2020 when they count again. We're going to have to add units and so forth. So when Greg and I had a discussion, Greg said that, the planning board sometimes has different ideas that they're looking for other boards to work with them on. And that's sort of it in a nutshell, I think. Unless Christine and Dottie want to add something to that.
Not at this point. I think, but we should go with what Greg had thought about.
Dottie? Or everything else there?
No, I would just like to say that I would recommend for people that are watching that if you go on the town's website and you look at the housing production plan and the action plan, it's packed with information and it helps make sense of all of these pieces. It's easy to read. It gives a lot of great statistics about the town. And I think that will help people understand what the trust does, what its purpose is, and how it works within the town.
Great. I couldn't agree with Dottie more. For people to get involved and to understand and educate themselves, to go to the website, easton.ma.us. You can find all the information about Planning and Zoning Board and the Affordable Housing Trust Committee. As Dottie pointed out, it's laid out there in front of you, very easy to read and understand your government and what's happening in town.
Yeah, and I think affordable housing is an area that sometimes is greatly misunderstood.
It is.
People think that it is aimed or pointed in one particular direction, and it's something that's beneficial to the town on so many different levels. So
It
I'm
is.
glad that Steve and Dottie are kind of highlighting that as something that everybody really should inform themselves about.
Absolutely, 100%. And we have a press release coming out from the Easton Public Schools. This is for the special education records. If you are a formal special education student and you've reached the age of 25, you may obtain your records by calling the Special Services Office. It's 508-230-3208 between 8 and 3 a.m. Monday through Friday, and you have until August 21st to do so. All right, so we have a picture here. This is from Bridgewater University. They had an Envision STEAM program. This is Representative Joseph Kennedy and Fred Clark. You know a little bit about this, Brian. You were.
I do. As a
Yep.
matter of fact, I think there were 4 girls from Easton who participated in the event, and it's an event that is fostered by the Southeast Regional STEAM Network, the Easton Public Schools STEAM team have been involved with it. The girls were selected based on applications that were reviewed by the committee, by the school, and the whole program really was focused on putting the spotlight on the fact that girls have been traditionally underserved in terms of their being encouraged to get into careers in science and technology, math and engineering, and of course the A in STEAM is arts, which draw from all of those areas. So these young girls, all I would say early teens, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, went to a program at Bridgewater State University and competed in projects, competed in learning exercises. A terrific program. And the Mass Cultural Council took part in sponsorship, as did the Southeast Regional STEM Network. And Joe Kennedy, who is our congressman for a number of the districts in Easton, has a really strong interest in STEM and STEAM, both education and opportunities, and he's really made it kind of a hallmark of his term at the House so far, because there are so many jobs in the Commonwealth that require engineering, mathematical, or scientific background that go unfilled. And Joe's message has been very consistent. You don't need a doctorate to get these jobs.
Right.
As a matter of fact, there are a number of employers right in our greater Brockton area who have jobs that go unfilled that don't even require an associate's degree. They just need competency in mathematics or being able to read drawings. And these are positions that, if we are building kids now who have those skills later on, these are positions that are going to be there for them. It's an expanding technology economy, as we know. So this is part of the overall effort of STEAM and STEM awareness to say these are great jobs out there. Let's help educate our children so that they are part of that technology economy and that technology employment threshold for years to come.
Absolutely, and I know that the Easton schools have a big push for the STEAM in their
Absolutely.
classrooms, so this is a great initiative, and I think the Bridgewater does this every year
Yep.
with the girls, right? So stay tuned for that for next year. But
Yeah,
here's a great
yeah.
shot of all the girls.
Was really, I guess it was a great program. The girls learned a lot.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the Children's Museum.
Let's do that.
All right. So you just had your Free Fun Friday, which is sponsored by Highland Street Foundation.
Yep.
They do this every year.
They do.
Is it just for the summer, right? 10 weeks of fun during the summer.
It is, and so for 10 weeks, every Friday, there are 6 or 7 venues around the Commonwealth, and they literally hit every, cultural and arts and education and activities-oriented venue, museums, parks, whatever. And the Highland Street Foundation out of Boston supports the free admission on that particular day.
That's
So
fantastic.
a normal Friday in the summer, the Easton Children's Museum might get 250 to 300 visitors.
Yeah.
On that particular day, we're in the thousands.
Wow.
With 1,650 some odd
That's impressive.
this past Friday.
Yeah.
And they're well behaved, they're responsive, they're great. There are programs during the day, so we think of it as our turn in the box because
Yeah.
it's a very busy time, but we're
Sure.
loaded up with interns and volunteers. The museum staff does a super job. And, we came through it again this year with everybody had smiles on their faces. So
Good. Well, we have a short clip from it then.
Yeah, I
check
think you're
that
going to
out.
see Toby Eugenio, one of our new educators and very involved in the makerspace, which we may talk about a little bit, and Paula Peterson, who's our executive director.
Great.
Hi there, this is Toby Eugenio at the Children's Museum in Easton. Welcome to our Free Fun Friday from the Highland Street Grant. You can see tons and tons of friends having a fabulous time. We're in our outdoor space right now, and it actually is focusing on loose parts for kids to make and enjoy with, which also leads us to our brand new makerspace that we just opened this week, which is an indoor space where children can engage with lots of loose parts and make to their heart's content using cardboard, technology, arts materials, and textiles. Please join us for lots of opportunities to engage your children in valuable learning.
So today is Free Fun Friday at the Children's Museum, and we are hosting probably 2,000 visitors from all over the region, courtesy of the Highland Street Foundation. Free Fun Fridays, for those of you who may not know, is a day when, and it happens all summer, on Fridays, museums are open free of charge to the public. So every Friday in the summer, there's 7 museums that are open. This is our particular special day, and we're so fortunate that we're part of this program. Highland Street has been supporting this program for, I believe, 6 years, and I think we've been part of it for 5 years. So we're thrilled. Here in the museum, as well as outdoor in the Outdoor Learning Center. So we're very fortunate that we're a part of this program and hope that it continues.
Like it's a successful day right there.
It really was, and as I say, so much goes into the planning to have activities and materials ready for it. And Toby talked a little bit about the makerspace, which is, it had its soft opening just prior to Free Fun Friday, and on August 12th we're going to do a formal grand opening with ribbon cutting, et cetera, et cetera. But it really is, it's a new initiative in education, literally from pre-K to college level.
Wow.
And you see huge universities, small private schools, pre-K stuff, places like us, everybody's getting involved in these maker spaces, which really differ from the kinds of activities you usually see where there's a planned activity, okay, everybody, we're going to make one of these, to you go into a maker space like we've constructed on the second level in the museum that is full of materials, and the child, with his or her parents or not, are encouraged to go in, find the materials, and think of what they could make. So it really is, think about it, create it, make it, try it out, and then after you tried it out, say, okay, what can I do better?
Right.
What didn't work that I thought would work? Or, wow, what did I discover that I didn't even think would be involved? And you watched kids' minds just go to town on this stuff. So
Well, I know you guys always have plenty to do.
yeah,
For example, today from 10 to 3, you've got the Where in the World program happening. On Thursday, you've got the Snow Sisters coming, Elsa and
very,
Anna.
very, very popular.
Yeah, so bring your cameras, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to be posing for photographs and signing autographs.
And there's nothing more fun than snow in July.
Yeah, right, well, right. And then next week you have the Nature Maker Day.
Yes.
And you're going to have a beekeeper, Roger the beekeeper, coming in to talk about bees and what it's like to be a beekeeper.
That's right.
All right. And then Thursday, July 30th, the Boston Hoop Troop.
Yes,
That's-
which is always fun. Very colorful, very active.
That's great. You can learn how to hula hoop if you would like.
Yeah.
All right. And then coming up, we have Family Autism Night. Let's talk a little bit about this. It's Friday, August 7th from 4:30 to 7 p.m.
Yep.
And this is where you're open exclusively to families with children 10 and under on the autism spectrum.
Yes. Yeah.
Giving them a nice environment, a little less overwhelming than you
Yes.
typically
Yeah.
with the crowds.
Yeah, very specifically planned too. We, several years ago when we started this, we had 1, then we had 2, then we had 3. Now I believe we're going to have 4 during this year.
Wow.
But they're open for free. So
For free.
there's, someone sponsors this. But it's open to parents and children, on the autism spectrum, again, up to age 10 or so. Although every once in a while, they'll have a sibling who may be a little older who's invited to come along with them. But the museum staff has been specifically educated, as to the best ways to provide a calming atmosphere and
Sure.
still yet a creative and exciting one,
Right.
but an excitement level that measures well to the autism spectrum. And we just get incredibly strong comments about it. So.
That's fantastic that you offer that, and you have to register
Yes,
and
you
make
do.
sure you have
Yep.
space. So you just
Yep.
call the museum, 230-3789 to register.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's free,
It's
but
free.
we do need the registration so we can plan on the staffing levels.
All right, and you were just talking about this. This is coming up, right? It's August 12th. I
Yes.
think. That's a typo up there, July 12th.
Yep.
It is actually August 12th.
It is.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about this. It's a midsummer night at the museum.
It is. This is really going to be fun. The Metro South Chamber of Commerce, in conjunction with Crescent Credit Union, who's a strong supporter of the museum as well, both are, and we are members of Metro South as well as the Easton Chamber. They're going to be hosting a business after hours
Okay.
session at the museum from 5:30 to 7:30. Again, Crescent Credit Union deserves a huge amount of credit. They are sponsoring this activity, and their staff, our staff, and the Metro South Chamber staff will be there to bring it all together. There's going to be a 4-piece jazz combo. There
wow.
will be complimentary food and beverages from Christo's.
Oh, nice.
And it's really a business networking, business information event. We look for anybody. This is complimentary. We just, again, need registration so
Yeah.
we can plan for the logistics of the thing. But it's intended for business people, local business people, to come chat with each other, find out what's going on, talk about new initiatives, talk about things that they've run into. And it's a great information exchange and sharing. And obviously it's meant to highlight Metro South Chamber and what we do in the business community, as well as Crescent Credit Union and the work that they do, you know, as lenders, as financial managers, and as good corporate citizens.
Okay, great. So if you want to get involved, that was August 12th, and you can email
Yes.
Athena.
Yep.
All right, so this is another big event you guys have coming at the end of August, 22nd, the night at the museum.
It sounds like we don't do anything but events, but we actually are open, you know, 6 days a week for children to come in and have fun and be
right.
educated.
Right.
But this is the second annual Night at the Museum. It
Yes.
is a craft beer event, and it is purely and simply a fundraiser. It's an
Yes.
adults-only event.
Adults only,
so
21
no
plus,
kids.
right.
That's right. If your kid cannot get a wristband, they're not going in. We are very, very cautious in terms of ID check on that as well. It is $30 in advance, $35 the day of. It runs from 4:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
It's an amazing experience. Last year, if people were there,
I
they'll know
was.
what we mean.
I was.
I was
We'll be
too.
there again.
But 14 of the region's best craft brewers, live music. We're going to have food provided from 4 really well-known and kind of iconic, food folks in Easton. So Neil Levine and his folks from The Foundry, an American Table, will be there. Mark Lombardi and Mark Minsky and the folks from the Easton Country Club's catering side will be there. No, we're not going to be playing any golf, but we'll have great food from them. Stoneforge Grill in Easton is going to be bringing over some delectable stuff. And Bill's Pizza, who's right up the
right
street
across
from
the
us,
street, yeah.
who has been such a great supporter of us, and I think all of our birthday parties live on Bill's Pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill's going to be there doing pizza by the slice. We will also have complimentary food provided by 2 of the major sponsors, Bank of Easton and
Yeah.
Northeastern Savings Bank. So there'll be some free food from them. Wendell's Pub is also
nice.
going to
Oh, wow,
participate.
Wendell's, huh?
And Buffalo Wild Wings
Yeah,
will send over
okay.
complimentary wings. So, and the cool thing is we have a craft brew homebrew contest with a panel of judges that really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a Science of Beer exhibit that has been created by one of our, actually a couple of our board members. It's a lot of fun and tells you really, how that delicious beer got made.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's just going to be so many fun things to do. And as somebody, actually several people said last year, it's just like one big block party.
It is. It actually is. And let's hope that the weather holds out.
Let's
right?
hope that the weather-
Usually does. So
Yeah.
you can go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. This is what it'll look like, and you can select them right there. And then you do have a designated driver discounted price.
We do. We have a designated
$10.
driver, a price of $10, and
That's
that's
nice.
day of or in advance. And we had this happen, so I have to tell you that If you decide that at some point during the event you want to not be the designated driver and have a little beer, we definitely will sell you an upgrade. So
Okay, there you
feel
go.
free to come in at whatever level
you
you
have to check
think
your
is-
keys at the door.
That's, yeah, you give them to Carrie. You know,
That's
she'll
right.
keep them.
I'll valet your car.
No, but we're looking forward to it being, again, a hallmark
Yeah.
event. And so many people and businesses in town said this was such a fun way to reconnect with people,
Yes.
have some nice, tasty craft brews, enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And it was a remarkably smooth event. So
All right,
we're
great.
looking for the same thing this year.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for talking about all the events you have coming up.
I know.
It's very
I'm getting
exciting.
tired just thinking about
I
it.
know. It's time for a nap.
Yeah.
All right, well, so moving on, the Easton Soccer is open for registration for your fall programs. If you have any ability, whether it's your beginner, or advanced, they are looking for you. And you can go to eastonsoccer.com to register for all their fall events coming up. And then speaking of registration, Oliver Ames High School is now registering all of their fall sports. The date for football would be August 19th, and then the 24th for all other sports. And then tryouts for the fall 2015 sports begin on the 24th for football and the 27th for all other sports. You can go to oliverames.org to find out more information. And they're also doing a fundraiser on August 1st over at the high school. It's a mattress fundraiser from 10 to 5 at the high school gym. They are saying that you get about 50% off your retail. So if you need a new mattress, you can go out, buy a new one, and support the OA football team.
That's terrific.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have some events over at Borderland that are happening starting on July 24th. They have Off the Beaten Path hike and a mansion tour going on. Let's see what else. They've got July 25th. They have Shakespeare in the park. They're going to be doing Romeo and Juliet. July 26th, Explore Nature and Shakespeare in the Park again. And then the 27th is a garden tour and fishing. And you can go to mass.gov and search for Borderland and all of the events that are taking place over there for the remainder of the summer.
Great.
Yeah,
Good
there's a lot
programs.
going on.
Ah,
I know it.
Beautiful place, too.
Yeah, Easton's got a lot of wonderful parks to explore.
We do.
Speaking of right here, there's going to be an outdoor summer movie night. That's this Friday, the 24th. The movie that's going to be playing is Despicable Me 2. It's a family favorite for
The
us.
Minions. I
The
love 'em.
Minions, yep. And it's at the Governor Ames Estate, which is on Oliver Street. The movie's going to begin at dusk. Kids are free. Members are $5, non-members are $10. So you can bring a blanket or some chairs, some snacks, and
Yep.
spread out on the lawn and enjoy the movie.
Bring your popcorn.
Bring your popcorn. And the Easton Children's Theater is also going to be presenting a Crazy Camp, I guess, is this presentation. It's going to be July 24th and 25th at 7 p.m. at the Easton Middle School Auditorium. I guess Crazy Camp is about beautiful Lake Looky-Loo. Camp Pocahontas is on one side for the ladies. The other side is Camp John Smith, and it's inhabited by a wild bunch of unruly males. So this is put on by the Easton Children's Theater, and all of the actors and actresses are children. So it's a really great thing that they do here.
I think I want to go back and be a kid again.
I know. I want to go back to camp. I don't know. So that's happening. And then, of course, the Ames Free Library is offering their summer program from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. on Monday nights. And this is going to be July 27th. Alistair Mook's Rompin' Family Music Concert. The Boston Globe calls him one of Boston's best and most adventurous songwriters. So it's right there out on the Queesit Garden. If it rains, they move it into the Oaks Ames Hall. But it's free. You bring your family. It's a great event. You sit outside and enjoy the entertainment. All right, and now we have Moscato's Musings with Easton resident Ross Muscato.
Hi, I'm Ross Muscato. It just might be the best baseball movie ever. Then again, it is one of the best movies of any type of any movie ever. And for that movie speaks to and exalts and elicits a most decent and stirring and nourishing longing. The movie is Field of Dreams, based on the novel Shoeless Joe by W.P. Kinsella. Of course, the main character in the movie, Ray Kinsella, played by Kevin Costner, chases a chaotic dream. It is a dream that jeopardizes ownership of his farm, the farm in Iowa on which he and his family live, and which is the Kinsella family livelihood. Ray Kinsella's dream is spurred initially by a voice he hears that says, at the volume of a whisper, if you build it, he will come. If you build it, he will come. We will learn that he is tied to Ray Kinsella's father, a man now gone, with whom Ray had a difficult relationship. The message delivered to Ray Kinsella is followed by a vision he receives. It is a vision of a baseball field set on the land where now is the family cornfield. The message, the vision, creates a resolve in Ray to mow down his cornfield and build on it a baseball field, even though it will bankrupt him, even though the farm will be lost. Ray Kinsella gets rid of his cornfield, and he builds his baseball field. Further along in the movie, Kinsella has managed to enlist partly, in his dream, a retired and famed baseball writer named Terrence Mann, played by James Earl Jones. Terrence Mann himself has had a special apparition about the past and baseball. This apparition was revealed to him and Ray Kinsella at the same time while they are at a game at Fenway Park. Ray has brought Terrence Mann out to the Kinsella farm, to the Field of Dreams in Iowa. But Terrence Mann, even though he has traveled to Iowa, remains skeptical about the wisdom of this Field of Dreams. Mann is still skeptical as he gazes with Ray Kinsella nearby at the field. Yet then, Terrence Mann has his epiphany. And then, Terrence Mann delivers a commentary, a reflection for the ages, that begins with these words, and I quote, "Ray, people will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up at your driveway not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have and peace they lack," end quote. Recently at twilight, I sat in the stands at Louis A. Frothingham Memorial Park in Easton. It was warm and clear, on the cusp of day and night. I faced the baseball field, the Robert J. Buddy Worcester Field. I sat amid and faced so much of my past, and the past of so many. I sit amid and faced a special place. Frothingham Park is a special place. It is almost a sacred place. It was and is a place of games, of spectating, of play, of romance, of leisure, of fighting, of making up, of friendship, of happiness, of being young and growing old. To know Frothingham Park intimately and to care about it and to love it is to know and appreciate that, like Ray Kinsella's baseball field, the baseball field at Frothingham Park and the entire park is a place where adults can come as innocent as children longing for the past. Children at the park don't need to long for anything. They only need to know the present. Now, you had to know that Ray Kinsella's baseball field would reunite him in spirit with his father and forge a helpful and positive understanding between father and son. And you had to know that the Kinsella farm was saved, for indeed the people came. They came to the baseball field, the Field of Dreams. People will always come to a field of dreams, a place of dreams. As I sat at Frothingham Park that recent night, soon enough, who came along and joined me, and we commenced to talking, was Kevin McIntyre, newly elected to the Easton Board of Selectmen in April. Kevin is an attorney in town. He is one of 11 children who grew up in Newton. Kevin was accompanied by his dog. Then along came, who for all intents and purposes is a townie, John Norman. John has lived in Easton since he was in grade school. John was a talented all-around athlete at Oliver Ames High School, from which he graduated in the early 1970s. He is one of 6 kids. He grew up on Columbus Avenue and now lives on Hayward Street, all Frothingham Park neighborhood. John was accompanied by his 2 dogs, and we talked, Kevin, John, and myself. Oh, as for me, yes, I have been here a while. I'm an Easton native. And there we were, we 3, an assembly of longtime residents and the newly arrived. We agreed on what a special place is Frothingham Park, for it is. It is a place to which one can journey and one can spend time. It is a place where our soul can be renewed. It is a park of dreams. And it is in Frothingham Park where people, no matter if they are monetarily rich or poor or anywhere in between, they can find and acquire peace, which so many lack, which so many need. Thank you for watching.
All right, thanks to Ross for that. We love Frothingham Park.
We do indeed.
The kids run amok over there, and they do the children's races every Thursday night, so it's always fun.
I'm just looking for something here very quickly.
Okay. So we've got some ECAT news. We need a team of filmmakers to help recreate one scene from the 1980s classic, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The deadline to make our scene is August 12th. And this is from our counterparts over in Where are they, Jason? You know what it is.
Northampton.
Northampton, that's right. So they're putting together something called the crowdsourced cinema. So people from around the region are going to do certain parts, right? And then they're going to clip it all together.
Right,
to
yeah.
make one big movie.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
Originally, this had been done with a Star Wars,
Yeah.
and so now they're trying to do it with Raiders of the Lost Ark. So
And you can put your own personal spin on it, so this is going to be fun.
yeah, so we already have a few folks together. So if you want to join in,
Yeah.
there's room for anybody. So
And when is this happening?
we're looking at the sort of the first week in August to do the shooting.
Yeah.
So between now and the next week, try to get in touch with us, and we'll sort
Yep.
of bring you into the production process.
That sounds like
So
a fun deal.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I got to believe that there are quite a few, fans of that series of films out there.
Yeah, it's great.
Right.
So-
Yeah. No, I was shocked at how the students that I first approached with this had not seen the movie.
Oh,
Really?
well.
Some of them had heard of the movie, some had not. So,
Oh, that's kind of sad,
all right.
actually.
Well,
Yeah,
But I think it is a terrific movie.
It really is.
Stands up. So.
The thing I was just looking for, and Ross's musings really brought it to mind, is that a week from Friday on the 31st is the third and final Frothingham Open, which is a golf tournament
Oh, yeah.
held
That's right.
for the last 3 years to raise funds to help maintain the park. Dan Morse at Morse Insurance is kind of the catalyst behind this. And Danny said to me, he said, yeah, this is the third and final because people get tired of things, so
Yeah.
we'll look for a new way to raise funds after this year. But I just saw Dan the other day, and I think there may be 1 or 2 slots still
Okay.
open. So if you're interested in playing in the Frothingham Open on the 31st, it will be held at the Easton Country Club.
Right.
And I think if you get in touch with Dan Morse at Morse Insurance, he'll let you know whether he's got room for you.
All right, there you go. All right, so there's plenty to do in the next upcoming week. So thank you,
Yeah.
Brian, again for coming in and joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right.